Hi and welcome. This time around I wanted to show a tiny subset of the world of rivets. You're probably familiar with rivet guns like this that have multiple sizes, and rivets that come in big box store packaging, kind of like these and these arrows here. These are very common. These are standard pop rivets, and they're also called blind rivets because you don't need to see the other side when you're using one. So for example, if this guy here went through a hole, you'd stick this through the hole and have the tool on the side that you can see. And as you can see, as you tighten this, it expands the backside and eventually self-cuts off the rivet, leaving the pulling shaft. If I'd had that in a piece of material, then it would have been left obviously in the material, but I did not. Here are some more aluminum pop rivets as sold by McMaster Carr. They come in different lengths, so you can go through different thickness materials. And as I showed you, this die here is for 3/16, but they're smaller and, well, I think this is the largest that the hand riveter will actually go to. But there's also smaller diameter for smaller holes, and you can see here some really tiny rivets and a couple other sizes. And this just varies by shaft diameter, which also can affect the hole diameter. Obviously, the larger the shaft diameter, the stronger the rivet, but you may not be able to fit that in your material. So these are standard aluminum rivets, called also blind rivets. However, this kind of rivet you can see sits proud of the material. If you wanted the rivet to be flush with the material, there's another kind of aluminum pop rivet, also called the countersunk rivet, and you'll notice that it's inverted. So if I had countersunk this hole, which I will do in a second, then when you put this guy, rivet this guy in, it will hold on an angle, so it gets a lot of extra material that way, and it will be flush with the material if you countersink properly. So as opposed to the domed pop rivet, we'll try a countersink pop rivet in a chamfered hole, or countersunk hole. And I didn't get that quite right, but you can see that's almost flush. It actually shifted at a slight angle. Also expanded inside. This also was for much thicker material. I should have had something to go over this. It's actually still loose there because it didn't expand enough, because rivets are also designed for thickness of material. So this one, 3/8 inch grip. So they're expecting at least 3/8 inch of material before you compress the rivet, which I did not have. Obviously, this is less than 1/8 of an inch, so that's why this rivet is still loose. The next kind of rivet I want to show you is designed for soft materials like wood. So this kind of rivet's designed to go into wood, and you'll notice that it also has an aluminum mandrel and an aluminum body, except the aluminum body is slitted so that when you pull tight, it's going to expand even more. Now, obviously, this material that I've got here is way too thin for this, but let's just give it a shot and see what happens. And the force, obviously, to compress this is a lot less. And you will see inside how much expansion you got there. So that rivet will hold really well because it completely flattened out as it was tightening. It's also a domed rivet. Next up, we have the two-piece compression rivet, and this comes in two parts, one for one side and one for the other side. Go through all of your material and then expand it, and it'll expand inside the sleeve here, making the expanded part hidden as opposed to a standard pop rivet that is very visible. Now, you can make these a little bit less visible, especially the aluminum ones. Like if I can see both sides, when I make dog leashes, for example, I'll put this on one side, a washer to help support the material on the other side, and then hammer that side, hammer the expanded part flat. So washers are really common to use with aluminum pop rivets as well. This expanding kind of pop rivet is if you have access to both sides, don't want to have a washer and some nasty smashed bit showing. You want to have something pretty, and you have this sort of pop rivet. So I need to change the die for this one. So with this one, put it the same way as a normal rivet, pull tight, and this one expanded almost immediately because it doesn't have far to go. There's a certain amount of force that makes this expand. You can see the little bump in the center there, And if this was going through some material, you've now got a really tight joint between two sides with both sides looking pretty nice and clean. Next up, we have some heavier duty steel shank pop rivets. And I think the heads are still aluminum on these. I think the advantage is that the steel shank makes them a little bit sturdier when you're trying to pull through thick materials. I have never used one of these before. So let's try this guy right here. I don't know if I can get enough force with a hand riveter for this rivet, this type of rivet either, especially 3/16. This 3/16 incidentally is the largest rivet size you can do with a hand riveter, but I don't know if, that was tough. That is a much harder rivet. It makes a cleaner expansion in there, if you can see that. When I'm done, I'm going to cut this guy in half so you can see the various rivets. So I can't believe the steel head actually broke off, but it had a specially designed tip to break off, and I guess these are higher force, so they'll pull harder than the standard aluminum ones, although the deformation aluminum ones is pretty extensive. The steel one just went straight and expanded, and maybe that's what you're looking for. If you want to hold something or support the hole better than even these rivets do, oftentimes you'll put a fender washer if that's all you have. Another option is the large headed pop rivet. And you can see that this one will support the material much more as if it has a built-in washer. The opposite side, you'd still need to add a washer. This type of pop rivet with the large head has a pretty large pulling range. This one can go material thickness 0.197 to 0.598, and this one here 0.251 to 0.5, which is a smaller range, and they sort of overlap, which is kind of interesting. They're both similar design. This one has steel shanks, this one's aluminum shank. So let's pop this guy in here, and it says it should be really close to be able to handle this material. These larger rivets are right at the limit of what this head can do. And so they can be a bit tough. Also note that the head of this riveter rotates so that you can get in spots where you may not be able to otherwise. There you go. That one collapsed into 4 little balls, which was kind of interesting. So it has grooves in it, and it expands at each groove point, which is kind of interesting. Forms a very strong, probably stronger than a regular pop rivet hold on the material, as well as having a larger face flange. So you saw that at the very limit of this riveter, it was extremely hard to set this rivet. There is another solution. There's pneumatic riveters, which I don't have one of, which can do up to like 1/4-inch rivets, I think. And then there is a hydraulic riveter like this guy right here. And I need to put the right tip on, and we'll see what we can see. All right, to use this guy, you pop the rivet in, and you can squeeze to engage the jaws if you want it to hold a little bit. There, now it's held in place. Got to be careful because this is hydraulic, so it's got a lot of force. Stick the rivet in and just gently squeeze. This riveter, this hydraulic riveter, will do up to 1/4-inch stainless steel rivets. And that's it. So now the little shaft is stuck in there. You squeeze it, pop to release the jaws, and out it comes. And that's it. This is a pretty handy tool to have, and it comes with a bunch of different jaw types to do a whole array of different types of rivets, which is very handy. I got this set from McMaster Carr as well, made in Mexico. Next up, as a bonus, we have the rivet nut tool. Works similar to a pop rivet, except it puts threaded inserts into parts. So there's a much thicker section at the bottom that won't expand, that holds the threads, and the top part that should. It's funny, I got this set at Harbor Freight, and Harbor Freight carries the tool that come with a sample of nuts, but no extras of these, so then you have to buy those elsewhere. So you pop this guy in here, and away you go. And I think that's all there is to it. That is it. You now have a threaded insert in that's expanded, and it's mostly vertical. So to remove these tips, you unscrew this bit here, and then you thread this guy counterclockwise to remove it. There's a 6mm wrench that will fit. The one that comes with it built in the handle sucks and doesn't work, so I use one of my other wrenches. I also put, I use my laser engraver just to remind myself that that's what you need to do. Anyways, that's handy. For a bonus couple tools, here is a rivet setter that lets you fold over the other side neatly with a hammer. Got this from McMaster-Carr, as well as this set of rivet removing tools. I normally just use a drill bit. This one's custom designed to fit right on the head and exactly drill out the center with these custom drill bits. Of course, when they get dull, then you're going to have issues. The kit comes with different size dies for each size rivet, one for each head size, and a drill bit that screws into this end here that matches this head size here. And this goes into your drill motor, and then you can hold on right here while you're drilling and remove the rivet. So loading up the head mandrel for 3/16, which I'm guessing is this one here. This isn't labeled, but I think that's right. It's the largest one, so that makes sense. And the drill bits have a marking on them. This says 3/16 right here. And it's not a regular drill bit, it's built into this piece, so if you break that, you're gonna have to replace it. Pop that guy in there, thread it into the shaft, and then this guy, or do I still not get the right one? I got the wrong one. Pop this guy in here so you can self-align. And I notice that it's designed for a standard pop rivet. The head fits exactly right here. On the bigger ones, you could line up on the drill bit, but it doesn't self-align for you with the large flange style. Fits also on this one right here. Also fits on this one right here pretty well. To use the tool, press it up against the rivet you want to remove. And that's it. Rivet is popped out, head is right in there, body came out, perfect job. And you pull this forward and it ejects the head of the rivet. When you use a standard drill bit, it's not quite as easy. This made it trivial. So if you had to remove a bunch, it might be worth getting this tool. Also purchased at McMaster-Carr. Last but not least, so you could see what the rivets look like when they're compressed, I cut off the back of this. I didn't keep this one normal pop rivet in there. All of these could be backed up by a washer if you wanted. That's really common with rivets. This was the normal pop rivet here, looked identical to this flush mount one here, at least from the back. You notice it's kind of bent to one side, really standard for those kind of rivets. This is for the soft materials, and if you put that in wood, those leaves will expand into the wood, and you can actually rivet wood and plastic bits together. This is a heavier duty steel shank pop rivet, which went a lot straighter. I forget, this one was a steel shank as well. And then these two were the stacking ones that were large range with a large washer, or the large head rivet. And the last one is the rivet nut. And that's it. I know this is by no means a comprehensive look at rivets. They go much smaller, which I showed you a couple examples, non-compressed. And they also go bigger, which I didn't have any examples of. Plus you can also get all these in stainless steel, of which I don't have any. But I thought this might be a useful intro. Hopefully there was something in there you hadn't seen before. If not, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time.